Alright, welcome back to Deer Tay's Garage. Today, I finally remembered to bring my ratchet home from work. So I tore these engines apart, started playing around, swapping cylinders around to see what I could do to get as close to a stock engine as possible. And this is a brand new stock cylinder. It's the G4 style cylinder with open transfers. And as you can see, at bottom dead center, I still have a lot of piston. So I went through all my cylinders. This one is stock, but it's steel sleeved and needs a lot of work. I haven't done anything with it yet because that was going to be, when I was all said and done with tinkering and porting and finally get a good setup, I was going to put it into the steel sleeve cylinder for durability and longevity. So what I found is, I'm pretty sure these two engines have the same geometry, and this is the stock cylinder from this engine, and it gives me the best, what seems to be the best port timing and what's going to be the best squish, because this one, when you go to top dead center, well, that's not too bad. I can get a decent squish with that. That one actually comes up pretty good. But, you know, to get rid of, to try to open up that exhaust port at bottom dead center, I would have to lift the cylinder 1/8 of an inch or so, and then I'd have to deck the cylinder up top to bring it back down, blah blah blah. So what I found was, this is the stock cylinder from this engine, which I'm pretty sure is a Groovy Skyhawk Super Rat. Let me put you down here. You would think that I just did this like 50 times, I'd know what the hell I was doing. There we go. You would be wrong. Also, yes, I know I need to try to speak louder in my videos. I'm a very quiet person, so sorry, deal with it. There she goes. Whammo. Basically what I'm trying to say is I think I'm just going to put this cylinder on, see how it runs. Probably on this engine, since I already went through taking that one off. And this one doesn't have a windowed piston, so. Alright, let's see what we got now over here. I'd say that's pert near perfect. Yeah, it could probably get decked a little bit, but we'll let her rip, Tater Chip. I like to call that good enough. Yeah, that's a beauty. Okay, get this out of the way. Remember how to take this clutch apart. Can't be that bad. If I remember correctly, I just take this off and knock it on out to the other side. Alright, I'm back. It's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. The bike's been together. I test rode it, so it does run. That's a plus. I was able to just go to my dad's house and pick up a stock muffler, but that's pretty much useless as been. Bright side of that is I have this. It's basically, it's no better than stock. They say it's a performance banana pipe. It's junk, it's useless, there's no performance power increase, but so it's as close as it's to stock as I'm gonna go. So that's what we're gonna use. Like I said, I got it running. It was running super rich. You can see here. So that's fine. I kind of expected that because while I was over at Pop's house, I found a stock carburetor, so we used that. And when I had it running, I noticed that the head gasket had blown, or it was blowing air out of the cylinder head. So looking at it, you can see these stock gaskets are notorious for taking a crap. This one, I don't know, it could have been just a bad gasket, or it could have been a bad head. Yeah, that's how rich it was running. So then I got to looking at these other heads that I have and seeing, you know, maybe it's a bad head, and just look at the amount of differences in these stock cylinder heads. This one, there's really no squish band area at all. This one I found, it's just a huge dome, that thing. This is actually probably the best one that I've found. They kinda has a squish area most of the way around. And then this one has I don't know what's going on here. So what I think I'm gonna do is, I just had this idea. I'm gonna fire up the lathe, put an old piston in the lathe, and see if I can't do something about that. So I've got piston with some sandpaper glued to it in the lathe, and if this is gonna work, I'm gonna try to do this because this seems like the best option I've got to do. Here we go. Take two. Ha! You're gonna have idea how big this is to be, how much squish area there needs to be. I'm no freaking expert. You go till it feels good. Now there's a much more distinguished squish area for reasons. That actually worked a lot better than I thought it was going to. Kind of impressed with myself on that one. This is something you don't necessarily have to do with like a stock kit, but you can do it at home with just an old piston and a piece of sandpaper. It'll take a lot longer to do it by hand, but I just happen to luckily have a lathe. So now I'll probably put this on a piece of glass and sand it Alright, so we got our head shaped up a little bit. Got a new gasket, a head gasket. We're gonna put it together. Change the exhaust to that banana pipe and change the carburetor and go for a test run. Alright, now she's all put back together and really ready for a test trip.